Hey people, I risk sounding crazy for this, but I'm going to tell you a little bit of my background and the reason why I think this is important. I normally don't remember dreams. I'm normally afraid of my dreams because a lot of them end up being nightmares about the abuse I've been going through, I've gone through in my life, or about a condition with my son. But when I was younger, it was mainly the abuse. But when I have remembered my dreams, one dream that I do remember when I was about 11, I didn't go to church very often. Well, actually, I was about 13 because I was with my mom, 13 or 14. And I had a dream that I had gone to a church. I was in the basement of the church, and we were doing crafts and stuff. And sitting at the table, and I was talking to somebody in my dream. And from behind a petition, I heard somebody say, "David, you're talking so loud we can hear you all the way in here." Now, in my dream, it was kind of confusing because I always got told that. But I didn't think anything of it. I thought it was just a goofy dream. The next summer, I got invited to a Bible thing with a friend of mine. It was like a day camp thing or something. And we were in the basement. And I didn't remember the dream, and this is how it always goes when they come true. I didn't remember the dream. We were down there, and we were doing the crafts. And this is where I remembered the dream. There was us kids of one age in one area, and kids of different ages in different areas. Behind the petition was the pastor. And he says, "David, I can hear you all the way in here. You're talking so loud." That was my dream. So, wow, the dream came true. It was the first time, and I thought, well, that's a fluke. It could never happen again. So another time, I had a dream that I was at a rodeo. I was up in the crow's nest. Now, that was strange in itself because spectators don't get to go in the crow's nest. And I'm nobody special by far. And while I was up there, a white Charger pulled up with a red interior. And I came down out of the crow's nest and went over and was talking to the driver in the car from where the passenger window was. His friend was in the passenger side, but I was clearly talking to the driver. The driver was the person that I was connected to romantically. I could feel the romantic connection. Over the loudspeaker came a tribute to a girl by the name of Connie. She had died. Next summer after that dream, I ended up in foster care. And my foster father worked on washers, dryers, stoves, did sound systems for different things. And that summer he did a sound system for the rodeo. And I was helping him, and I was up in the crow's nest. And my boyfriend, who drove a white Charger with red interior, pulled up, and I'm down there, and I'm talking to him, not remembering the dream. And all of a sudden, a tribute to Connie came up. She had died in a drunken accident. Drunken driving accident. And that's when I remembered the dream. Another time I had a dream that I was pregnant and I gave birth to a boy. And the man I was married to got angry because I bought chicken to cook and he didn't want chicken in the house. Well, I was dating a guy who didn't want chicken in the house, and I didn't remember the dream. Didn't want chicken in the house because he claimed he was allergic to it, but what really happened was at some point in time he got a hold of some bad chicken. And so we ended up getting married, and I got pregnant with my first child. It was a boy. And I brought home some chicken because I was craving it. And he got mad at me. And that's when I remembered the dream. Now, not last night because I didn't go to sleep last night. The night before, I had a dream. I had a dream that I crafted something. And it was something important for Zelensky. And the thing that I crafted was more detailed than anything I had ever crafted. And I never thought I could do it. But the dream told me I had to get this to Zelensky somehow. And that it would give him hope, strength. It would bolster him. Because of the message that came with it. But I tried to send it to the White House for the president to send it. And they thought it may have been something dangerous, like a bomb or something. So they did what they do to make sure it's not a bomb. They either exploded it or soaked it in water or something. But it destroyed it. Nonetheless, it destroyed it. So it didn't get to Zelensky. So I'm hoping I can't send it to Ukraine because, first of all, I wouldn't know the address. Secondly, I don't have the money. I can send it somewhere in the United States, but I can't send it to Ukraine. But I made the thing, and it came out exactly like my dream. It's made from a ceramic egg and hot glue. And what it is an egg, which represents birth. That's what the dream told me. This represents birth. But coming out of the egg, out of fire, the fire of war, is some very detailed little hummingbirds. And on the egg, it says, Ukraine rises, and then it says, rises free. And the hummingbirds are the symbolism of the spirit. They're in Native American lore, and I know Ukraine don't have hummingbirds, but in Native American lore, the hummingbird brings peace. It's a spirit animal that brings spiritual messages. It brings the soul. And that's what the representation of the hummingbird is. And they're flying up and they're eating from the tree of life to give them strength. And then the tree of life is growing in the side of the egg, which is Ukraine. So the birds are eating the fruit of the tree of life, which is growing on the side of Ukraine, which has hummingbirds, which are the soul and the spiritual heart representing the spiritual heart of Ukraine and bringing Ukraine peace as they come out of the fire of war. Peace and freedom. So, anybody has got any suggestion, even if this makes me sound crazy, any suggestion on how I can either get this to Zelensky or at least this message to Zelensky. All I know is this is what he needs. He needs hope. So, sounding crazy as I am, probably sounding, how can I get this done? Please help, or else I won't be able to get rid of the dream. The same way as for many years I had a dream of a bad green gas coming and I had to be prepared to not be able to go anywhere. And then COVID came. So please, don't leave me dreaming this dream for however long it takes.